Welcome back, Kiwi Yoinkers and all other folk to Sunsaw Gaming. Now, this is a video request. I've been requested to do the stock Emil 1 and how to play it stock. So, I'm just going to run through what I use on this tank, equipment-wise, consumable-wise, and etc. Now, I am just going to quickly drop this down to the lower tier gun, engine, and tracks. So, let's do that right now. Now, I did these gameplays that I'm going to show, there's 3 of them. I've just done them one after the other, so you get to see the raw majority of my gameplay. I only done about 4 matches in this thing stock, and all 4 matches were top damage games for me. Having never driven this tank stock before in my life, I did actually change one of my equipment loadouts here after the first match. So I'll go through those in just a second. Here we go. We've got calibrated shells. Now the second one, I changed that enhanced gun laying drive to the shell velocity. So that does help. That second one, switch that over. Anyway, let's jump right into our first match. Please keep in mind as well, this is the first time I've ever driven this tank stock. When the Kranwagen line first came out, I free XP'd all the way up to the Kranwagen, so I had all of the tanks already fully maxed out. So I have no idea how this gun was going to perform, how the engine was going to work. I had no idea how any of that was going to happen in this first game. And I mean, I was a little bit pressured. Just because I was using a stock gun and I had no idea how it was going to perform. I make a lot of mistakes here. I make a lot of mistakes. Now, this game should have been a win. It should have been a win, but I spent a lot of my time chasing around after my own team, trying to cover their asses. Which, I mean, when you're in a stock Emil 1, it's not the best. Anyway, we have pushed up to the hill here on mines. As you can see, I'm taking this outside edge. I am just keeping myself hidden from the enemy tanks. Unfortunately, I shoot my teammate there and not the LTTB that I was aiming for, but I do manage to pick up that kill anyway. Now, I'm just going to peek and poke this ridge. Like, there are a lot of our tanks here, there are a lot of enemy tanks here. I've got one in the chamber. I might as well fire at the TD spot since I had no shots on anything else and I did not want to overexpose. I didn't want to push over the top of that ridge and get shot. Now, there is a medium tank that has managed to flank in behind us, this 152, who is getting shot. I don't even know what he's doing here. He doesn't want to know the T-34-1, so I'm just going to turn around. I am going to get down here. My speed boost has just become available to me, so I am going to click that and get in very quickly behind this T-34. Now, my team is still holding the hill for now, and they are doing a decent enough job for the time being. But, I mean, I come back to deal with this guy, and so did 2 other of my teammates. Now, I do manage to pick up the kill. Unfortunately for our teammate there, he is no longer needed. I'm just going to push myself back up to this hill. It's a hull down spot, and that is where you want to be playing your Emil 1. Now, this gun is not the most accurate at distance, and its shell velocity isn't the greatest. So, I do suggest running that extra shell velocity equipment on this tank for the stock gun anyway, and if you can help it, I would say just outright buy the engine as soon as you can with free experience, because driving this thing with no engine is just a slug. Unfortunately, I don't manage to pick up the kill on the louver there. I do have one in the chamber, but my teammates are very, very soft at the moment. They are hurting, so I'm just going to sit here with my full HP in front of this Tiger 2, and I'm going to let him shoot me, because that way he's not going to push on my teammate there, and he's not going to pick up the kill on my teammate, whose gun I do need. Now, our tank destroyer, who has gone over to the other side of the map, he is all by himself, and probably wasn't the smartest idea. Now, this Tiger has decided to move because I'm firing again, but I am just going to pick up that kill right there. Now, this is where I start making a few mistakes. I was counting on our TD to be able to actually hold that side of the field, which he doesn't. He dies very, very shortly right there. Now, I didn't notice that he had died when I made this little push here, otherwise I probably would have just driven off of this hill. I do take a nasty shot from the IS-3, and I don't know why I fired that one, but, you know, like I say, mistakes were made. So I'm just using this tank here to hide the side of my tank, keep my hull sort of hidden, and I've got a one-shot louver behind me there, and I should have a charioteer coming up right there, behind me. He has killed my teammate now, so I'm going to pick up the kill on, the Challenger, not Charioteer. Going to pick up the kill on the Challenger there, try and run away from this louver, well, try and run to this louver and get the kill. Unfortunately, the accuracy on this gun is not the greatest, and I do miss my shot. Now, I'm dead, there's no two ways about it. But I played that as well as I could for the first time ever playing this tank stock. And we're going to see, I do improve in the next two matches. So I got 3,000 damage there, 4 kills, class 3 mastery, top gun, and the rest of my team doesn't do too well. All down just over 1,000 damage. I mean, come on guys, come on. Anyway, that was the first match. Let's hop right into the second here. Now, in this match, I still have not yet loaded up the shell velocity, so I still don't have that equipment on my tank. But we are here on Vineyards. Now, I'm going to head to the outside of town, just sort of cover C and use that ridge line just to keep my tank hull down and keep myself out of harm's way, basically. I want to be taking some shots to my turret, but not the rest of my tank. Unfortunately, I noticed none of my team are going up to B, so I'm going to head up there. And as I do so, our IS-6, I think it is also decided to pull up here. Now, going uphill sucks. No engine. It is painful. But, I mean, we made it. We got up there in the end. So, we are just going to hop onto the cap here. We are going to take as many points as we can. We're going to pull in close to the building. Now, we're not going to get in the IS-6's way. He has a more reliable gun at this point, and it looks like he's aiming up a shot. So, he's just fired. I can now pull out, and I can get some shots off. Unfortunately, I bounced that off his front plate. I do manage to get the second shell into him. Now, as you can see, the bloom on this gun is not that small. So you do kind of have to get up close and personal with it. Unfortunately, someone else manages to clear the Emil there before I get my shell into him. But now I'm on a full reload. While I'm reloading, I am just going to reposition. And that's what you need to do in this tank. If you are on a reload, reposition. Put yourself in a place where you're going to make the enemy think. Like, they don't know you don't have 3 shells, especially if you're advancing on them. So do that. It gives you that little element of surprise. Now, this AMX 1390 is actually more scary to me than any other tank here, just because it has the speed I don't. I do get a nice HE round into the back of him. Unfortunately, I do not finish him off. But we're just going to roll back here, and we're going to get back hull down. Now, I notice these 3 are pushing through this top ruined city. And I don't want to get shot by them. This Tiger P seems completely oblivious to the fact that they're there. And I mean, the Chimera comes out to pop a shell into him, but doesn't see me because I've managed to keep myself hidden. I kept myself out of the way from enemy view. I was able to get that nice shot into the Chimera that I had pre-aimed and was ready for. And if you can pre-aim your shots in this tank, do so. Take the time to pre-aim those shots if you know they're going to pull across in front of you, because it's going to be a lifesaver. Now, the Annihilator looks like he's pulling himself back up to Cap B, so if I can't get some shots into him as I pass over here, I'm just going to go straight for the Chimera. Unfortunately, our teammate there does die, so hopefully my 2 shells, well, they won't be needed. The Borsig's just taken him out. So, we do have cap points. I am still full hit points. I haven't taken a single shot yet against my tank, and we're just going to pull up here. We're going to see what these guys do. On second thought, we might. Whoop, that was a bit weird what I just done to that tank, but we're going to pull back into cover. And as expected, the Annihilator is going to be very aggressive and try driving after me. So we're going to pull forward. We're going to get a nice few bounces there and a shot into him and win the game with 1,000 cap points. Thanks to my light tank that went to town at the start and capped C. So that was a second match, Class 3 Mastery, 2,200 damage. I still made a nice lot of crits, and again, I am top of the team in damage. So, I mean, running this tank stock, even without the engine, even without the tracks, even without the great gun accuracy, you can do well in this tank. Now, I'm just going to jump straight into the third match here. Now, for this match, I am running the extra shell velocity, so hopefully that helps us. It is a tier 9 match this time, and again, we are on Supremacy. I play both battle modes, so I've got Encounter and Supremacy on. So if you only play Encounter, again, just work yourself to some positions where you can go hull down and still have options of retreat. You never want to put yourself into a place where you cannot retreat, especially if you don't have the engine and tracks in this thing. You do not want to push too far forwards, because if a medium tank or a light tank gets on top of you, you don't have the hull traverse speed to actually turn and fight most of these lights and mediums. So this tank stock, especially with the nerf that it had recently to its speed, it's not going to do you very well. So just hang back, stay back, take your shots where you can, and just try and play more of a support role. Now, I do manage to capture D there by myself because my team was all going to the middle. They're all playing like it is Encounter. Now, I don't want this Conqueror pushing forward, so I do put a track shot into him, and I do manage to get a nice ammo rack shell into him. Let's hopefully get this third shell into, there we go, straight into his track wheel, and he hits the rock. Now, unfortunately, backing out here, I take a shot because our SU-100Y is, I don't know what he's doing, but he shouldn't be up this far. He probably should have sat back and covered from a distance. But you know what, that's totally fine. I'm on a reload. I'm going to let him use the last of his HP, just like that, because and pre-aiming my shot. I know that that guy was going to pop out. I do get the shell into him. He is fired. I'm going to push forward now. And it's noticing these little things that you can do. Like you notice, I pulled back there on a reload, got myself into a hull down position, but I did not run away. Now, pull forward, we get a nice shell into the Conqueror there, and hopefully we can get this last one. And RNG robbed us. We hit his upper plate and it bounced off. But hey, Leopard PTA, thank you running in here from across the other side of the map, I might add, and saving my bacon. Now, I'm just going to stay here because, I mean, if things go south, which I don't think they will, I'm ready to jump in the way and take shots from them. Now there is only 3 tanks left alive. I am going to pull straight into the middle of the map here because it's basically a bowl, it's a basin, and from down here you have hull down on every single angle, and this sort of spot on a map is great for this tank. Now I do notice the Borsig. I don't want to be caught in a crossfire, so a waffle. We're going to load up HE. We are just going to plug some of those into him, and hopefully he doesn't kill us because, ooh, that was very, very close. But I mean, in saying that, it allowed me to get all 3 HE rounds into him, and the Leopard PTA once again just cleaning up the mess that I've made. Now these two guys, they do a very good job here. They do a very good job, especially Get Money. He done very well. Now I'm just going to sit here. I am hull down at the moment, and I just missed that track shot. But I mean, again, here I'm hull down. I'm close enough that I don't need to aim. I do get a nice bounce, and I pick up the kill on Emil too. Unfortunately, the AMX M449 does kill me there. But I mean, you can see this tank, even when it is stock, can perform very, very well with the right team support. So thank you to this guy, Get Money. You saved me a couple of times in that match. I do recognise that. But yeah, just to go over it, keep yourself hull down. Always give yourself a escape route. Pre-aim where you can. And relocate on a reload. It's that easy. Of course, lifting your turret up does help hide that weak spot on the top of the hatch too. Whenever you are on a reload, if you are peeking over a ridge, feel free to show your turret, but just lift your gun, because that way they won't hit the hatches on top. I hope this helps you. Until next time, stay safe, use cover. Cheers, guys.